Hello and welcome to the 27th video of the Project Sovereign series. In this video, I'll complete the main deflector dish. I'm anxious to tackle this part, so let's get started. Since the last video, I've done some cleanup on this object. I've terminated these edges because they are creating really ugly smoothing errors. So just simply that, and also flattening some of this. It was a little too pronounced with the curve and the incline here. But now it's ready to make the interior spherical part. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this button right here. And this is going to be very much the same method as creating the original part of the deflector dish, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So the first thing I want to do is bring a sphere into existence. There it is. And align it with this. It up like so. Ooh, that's got to be a lot bigger. Probably like that. I can mess around with all of this later. And I want to make sure that it has the right amount of segments so all these edges line up so I don't get any sort of weird triangular things going on here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's say I did like 34. See? I see this like kind of divots because it's not lining up properly. So this way it assures that everything is going to be nice and seamless. And I want to bring this down. And I'm going to keep increasing the radius because it's just a hemisphere, right? And I can mush it down too. Just like that. I think that's probably good. Let me take a look at the... Yeah. And I can always mess around with the scale of this. It's not that important. Very easy to change. Okay. So just like before, really cool thing about this is that I don't need to do the entire thing. I just need to do one part of it. In this case, 1/8, because what I want to do is, I don't know if you see, like it's thick and then thin and then thick and then thin. I want to recreate that. So I can't just do, 1/16 of it. It's going to be 1/8, but that's not going to be a lot of work at all. So I'll convert this to editable poly. Delete all of the polygons that I don't need. Okay, so now that I've deleted those, what I need to do now is inset the glass windows here. And it looks like it's just going to be just 1 and 2. I'll do 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. I think that's what's going on there. And I'm going to choose a different color because it's going to be difficult for me to see what I've selected. There we go. And I need to do this sort of one at a time. I think like that. Yeah. And just inset. That's probably, oh yeah, my favorite number, 0.025. So that's good. I'm going to do that for here. And I'm just going to keep doing this until everything is inset that I need to be. Let's just take another look at this. Yeah, okay, so it is. All right. There's another set, and then there's this kind of thing in the middle going on here. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same to the rest here, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've inset everything that needs to be inset to match up with what's seen in the reference. And I just want to bring that reference up again because I want to show, so the vertical one is thick, and then the next one is thin, and then the next one is thick. So in order to make that kind of alternating pattern, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to push these together. So I'll show you how I'll do that. Just simply like this. Now you'll notice when I do that, these kind of creep up, so I need to correct that as best I can, just to keep this looking as even as possible. So I'm going to do this for this line here, all the way down and all the way back up. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get back. So I finished that operation. I squeeze these vertices closer together, so this will make a thinner edge than this when everything's put together. We're almost there. Now I just got to do some extruding. One of the very basic operations of modeling, I suppose. These are going to be all the inset transparent parts that you see. And all of this. And just these right here. And I'm going to inset them, or intrude them, I should say, by the same magic number. There we go. And I'll apply my generic translucent plastic material and invert the selection and my dark gray. So we can see what's going on. I just need to get rid of these edges here because they will not be needed and will actually get in the way. And shift copy, just like the larger part. And I want to make 7 copies. There we are. Attach all of them. And weld everything. So just select all the vertices and weld. That looks great. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We're almost done. There's just one more detail I want to add. I'm going to do some experimentation because I'm not quite sure how to do it. But you'll see there's these kind of filaments in here. So I'm thinking about just adding another sphere and just putting it behind here and making it gray. I don't think I'm going to change the actual geometry. So I'll be back and I'll show you what I did. I'm sure it'll be very simple. I'm going to try that first idea and see how it goes. Okay, so I figured out what I'm going to do. It's going to be really easy. I'm just going to take this sphere. I actually copied the original sphere earlier, which, as I said before, is always a good idea. And I'm just going to delete this center part and select the rest of the polygon faces. And I'm going to inset them by, let's see 0.1. Yeah, there we go. That's good. And I'm going to delete these, select all of these, and extrude. Local normal is good, not so much height though. Just like that. Great. And I applied just my translucent plastic material. It's going to be made of the same stuff. And I'll just lower this into place. And that should look pretty good. I hadn't applied my material. I just made it transparent in the viewport. It's funny how your mind can get lost when you're trying to solve a problem. There we go. And let's see. This might just have to come down a bit more scale-wise. There we go. So I really like this. Really gives it a Jules Verne kind of look to it. And just adds a bit more structure to our deflector dish. So now what I'm going to do is just attach everything so it's one big piece. Cool. Just call it deflector dish. Great. Now we can unhide all. Okay, and I'm going to align this to the dummy that we made. Perfect. Like this thing. And there you go. That looks like a deflector dish to me. I'm not going to do any kind of lighting with it yet, just because it's going to be more complicated. I think it's going to involve cutting out a hole here. I'm not totally sure how I'm going to do it. I might just use an illuminated texture, but I always think a real light looks nicer. But here you go. That is the finished main deflector dish for the Sovereign class. So very exciting to finally get this part done. Moving along through the model, just piece by piece, doing it bit by bit. That's how you got to get stuff like this done. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon.